Enzene is a CDMO, or actually a CIDMO, a continuously innovative development and manufacturing organization. We supply services for clients from cell line development all the way through drug substance, drug product. We have two facilities, one in India, one in the US. My role in the organization, I'm the President of Sales and Marketing, so I lead a team from marketing to sales to operations around helping promote what we do and how we do it, as well as creating solutions for our clients with their problems and their challenges. So Enzene's key innovation as a CIDMO is our Enzene X 2.0 technology platform. It is a fully connected, continuous manufacturing technology for mammalian processes. And what it brings to the table is a massive increase in productivity of up to 10 times and a significant decrease in cost of goods. If we're manufacturing that product within India, we can realize up to $40 per gram or down to $40 per gram. And if we were in the US, we can realize something around $100 to $120 per gram. And what's really interesting about this platform is here at Bio, we're launching NeX. NeX is the ability for our clients to actually take this innovative technology that nobody else has in the world, that is producing commercial product today, and be able to access that technology within their own operational paradigm. So if they're looking for expansion, capacity, if they're looking for an advanced processing technology that handles complex biotherapeutics, we have that solution that not only can we help them with development with our own capabilities, but we can deploy it within their facility, within their region, to help them have not only access, but also create a supply chain network that's not bound by a global system that can have disruptions. I mean, we saw it in COVID. It was a significant challenge for manufacturing teams, delivering vaccines, delivering biologics across the world when we were suffering from a pandemic. The Enzene X platform is very efficient in terms of an install process, timeline, and cost, and then it gives a team an opportunity to have that biologics manufacturing capability in a localized setting. So you can imagine that it's one thing to have a platform, right? And having an excellent platform does you no good if you're not able to take full advantage of that. And so if we were simply to deploy the platform into a location without any support, you're not really setting that team up for success. And so the next platform is a holistic deployment and engagement paradigm. So we start with training, right? So Enzene is probably one of the most unique CIDMOs in the world because we actually have a 6 to 9 month training academy that we've developed and built. We've had this academy operating for years now. And so this sets the foundation of being able to develop bioprocess development skills within a region, a team. Now you can imagine a large pharma team that's been in biotech for 50 years, they probably don't need that. But if you are looking at a smaller operation that's trying to support a regional supply base, they probably have a challenge with having the right set of skills with the right number of folks. And so the SparX platform, which is what our training platform is called, allows and enables us to create that skill base locally so that they are fully functionally and capable of running the technology platform. Then the second component is design and build. So we've designed and built our own facilities, both in Pune, and then we deployed a copy of that in our Hopewell, New Jersey site. And this design capability allows the team to very quickly transform a location into a suite that has multiple different manufacturing suites that can each produce a half a ton of material for each suite installed. And the really interesting part about this is if you look at traditional fed batch, if you're looking at multi-ton capability, you're probably starting at a minimum of $200 to $300 million that you have to invest to get that capacity. And it can easily get up to $1 billion at the end of the day, especially if you're going for stainless steel installed base. Our technology platform sits in a 1,500 square foot facility. That means that you can replicate what we did in the US for $50 million. So for $50 million, you can install a 1-ton capacity within your plant or your area of interest. And then there's the platform itself. So having a fully connected continuous manufacturing technology that is unique, provides significant advantages in flexibility, capability, productivity, and cost of goods. And then the final part is development support. So when we deploy the platform, the whole idea is to be able to enable success within that organization, right? But before they're able to really fully utilize and understand how that development works, we're there to support their development program. So we provide that support, that service, that operational oversight so that there's success from day one. We don't just simply deploy the platform and say, there you go, make it work. We're there every step of the way to make sure that there's success, that they can take the platform, we can deploy assets that we already have in place, and we can develop new assets that meet their objectives or their needs, whether it's an edict from a government organization trying to do pandemic preparedness, or if it's a part of their pipeline development. We're there to support that, whether it's creating the processes for them or if it's operating the plant holistically. So all 5 of those components come together. Now, each team, it's modular. Teams can take advantage of what they need and how they need it. So, our whole goal when we started Enzene was how to enable access to medicines. And it really drove the creation of the Enzene platform. When you can reduce cost of goods down to something like $40 per gram, and you have a productivity that's up to 10 times, that's truly compelling. And it creates a scenario where you do create patient access because you create affordability. And I would say that we're one of the very few CIDMOs, or if you want to go to the older terminology, CDMOs, that think that way. All CDMOs think about delivery on time, right first time, and quality. Those are a given. You have to be able to do that. Our unique proposition is not only do we have a technology platform that nobody else has that can deliver quantum leaps in capabilities, but our focus is how do you enable patient access through cost of goods. When we decided to be a CIDMO, Himanshu, our CEO, had been talking about what we were doing with the technology. And that interest in the technology and how it can solve problems, not only how does it reduce cost of goods, but increases productivity, but it also enhances product quality. And so as Himanshu was talking about our technology platform, folks wanted to have access to that. And it really was the spark that drove us into becoming a CIDMO. And as we continue to develop the technology and you could see the compelling nature of the technology, we started to have conversations with folks about access. How could they access the technology? And the traditional paradigm is folks come to us and we provide the services, we can provide the manufacturing. But if you think about that, and if you think about the goal of regionalization, which has been the topic of conversation in the last 18 months, then you really start to think, how can you solve that problem? How can you create a solution? And when you have a technology platform that can produce half a ton of material per suite on its current iteration, and then you also look at our Hopewell facility where we installed 2 suites for $50 million. And then you couple that with the large investment that's needed for a traditional fed batch manufacturing. All of those elements start to percolate, coalesce together, and it creates this, this idea like, hey, we have a solution here. We have a solution, we can deploy it, we know how to deploy it, we have the training capacity and already established. We don't have to learn how to train people, we've been doing it for years. We have a technology that nobody else has. It has an effective cost to capital ratio. And so at that point, you're in a position where you can enable people's success. We can help them realize their goals. And so it's those factors, the regionalization, the cost basis, the conversations we were having with clients about how do we help their supply chain, how do they risk mitigate their supply chain, that really created the scenario where we were like, we need to do something incredible against this. And that's how NeX really evolved. The quintessential benefit of NeX is giving people control of helping their patient population. So, I mean, that's fundamentally, if you want to boil it down into just a nutshell, it's being able to deploy a manufacturing technology quickly, efficiently, on a regional basis so that companies can support their patient populations in a time of need. Not only on an ongoing basis, but if there's another pandemic, then they have a technology base to help really address that. And so having the NeX platform and because we've designed the platform to be modular, to address specific challenges and needs on each location's basis, makes it a flexible approach that people can pick and choose in a way that makes sense for them. You can understand that if you're deploying the platform in the US, say New Jersey, San Diego, San Francisco, any one of the biotech hubs, Boston, they probably don't need the training part because that's already well established. They may or may not need the design and build part. That's fine. If they only need the platform and support on how to manage and operate the platform, the NeX platform really gives them that flexibility on how they want to approach it. If they're an emerging market where they have literally very limited infrastructure or their infrastructure has been based all on small molecules, then we're enabling them to not only go out and find a way to install multi-ton capacity, but do it successfully. Because if you could just take one thought step forward and say, you know what, we're going to install a 5x2 KL fed batch, and we're just going to do that. Well, they install it, but if they don't have training, if they don't have a team that's designed a facility before, and if they don't have operational knowledge base behind it, the opportunity for success becomes very hard. And you can probably imagine that the amount of spend starts to become snowballing as an effect because consultants and rework and I mean, it sounds really easy to design a facility against a GMP, FDA, EMA, or other regulatory environment, but it's not. I mean, if you haven't done it before, there's all kinds of pitfalls that you can run into. And so by pulling all these elements together into the NeX platform, we really enable success for folks to take advantage of the Enzene NeX 2.0 platform.